Special education, the problems of public schools. The disabled community is being failed by special education components of the public school system. Some of you may be asking, what is a disability? A disability is defined as a physical or mental condition that limits a person's movement, sense, or activity. And this can be anything from dyslexia, dysgraphia, or even autism, hearing loss, and blindness. Special education is the process of educating students addressing their specific disability or needs. What is the problem with special education in public schools? Well, the problem is that we can all agree that some students need more help than others. However, public schools is not providing the help that these students need. The public school community is made up of around 13% of special needs students. And the problem with the public school is that these teachers are letting the disability define the student, which impedes the student's ability to succeed in the future. Jackie states, now his, Nelson's, teacher had so little faith in his ability to learn that she was offering to help him cheat. When schools decide to let the disability define their students, they're not helping their students succeed, and they're causing their students to fail in other aspects of life. An article by Marcus J. says at some schools, students like Nelson are underestimated and stuck in classes that are so easy for them that it didn't prepare them for higher education. Others face the opposite problem. They are left to struggle in classes that are too difficult for them without the support they need to succeed. These two scenarios are so common that they have created a crisis for millions of special education children in the American education system. The problem is made much more complicated by the fact that public schools don't want to accept responsibility for their kids because they're going to have to pay financially for these. Green said that schools have discovered that they can get extra funding from state and federal governments for small instruction to help lagging students catch up if they say that the student struggles because of the process problem in their brain. Schools officials who admit that the students are lagging because of poor previous instruction or difficult home life, by contrast, are left to pay the cost of small group instructions entirely out of their budget. As a result of this, the schools are saying that the education of a child is codependent on the parent. However, this has made a problem because not every student has codependent parents at home who will sign consent forms, therefore they will never get the help that they need. Another underlying problem with the public school system is that they punish their special needs students the same way they punish their regular students. This is a problem because when it comes to punishing a special needs student, you need to understand when it's right to punish. Some actions that a special needs student does isn't something that needs to be punished. For example, drawing, asking questions, or even pacing in the back of the classroom isn't necessarily something that needs to be punished, and it's not distracting the class. So why are we punishing these students for doing something that is helping them learn in the future? What does it look like to punish a disabled person? First, you need to know what the person's disability is and if they are in the IEP program. If they're in the IEP program, you should be punishing them based off of stuff that you've already decided in the past. However, if they're not in the IEP program, you should be punishing them in a way that is beneficial to either their learning or to help with behavior in the future. Contrary to popular beliefs, following a Christian faith can incorporate their convicts in everyday curriculum without violating the concept of separation of church and state. When it comes to being a teacher, at a public school, you can't just bring the Bible as a textbook, but you can lead by example by using the fruits of the Spirit that God has given you and understanding the talent of the children around you. This article says Christians who teach children with special needs are called not only to teach, but also create a better world for their students. According to Dr. Nilsa, a professor and program lead at the National University Department of Special Education, states, "It is essential for Christian special education teachers to understand what their true mission is about. As agents of change, they must value and empower their students the way Jesus modeled in the New Testament. These teachers are in a position to help students flourish by not focusing on the disability, but instead identifying their self-worth and God-given gifts and strengths." 1 Peter 4:10 is a Bible verse that says, "As each one of us receive a spiritual gift, employ it in serving one another as good stewards of the manifold grace of God." This is important because as teachers, we should be pointing out the God-given talents of our special needs students. The public school system is flawed in many ways. However, it is most flawed when it comes to supporting their special needs students. As teachers, we should not be defining our students as our disability. We should understand that our students have a disability and that we can help them not so much overcome that, but succeed while still having the disability. And we can also use our Christian faith to help these students flourish and understand that they are a gift from God and lead by example, so that way one day they can be in our shoes. Special education is not something that should be looked down on. It is something that should be lifted up. And we, in the public education and in everyday life, should understand that just because they have special needs, they're not any different than anyone else. But we also need to understand that according to their needs, they will need help, and we should be the ones to help them grow. Thank you for listening.